Hey everyone, welcome back to Two Girls on the Sidelines. Today we have Rob Hughes with us today, a Clemson baseball alum.
Yes, we're super excited to have you, Rob. Do you want to just kind of start and give us a little bit of background about where you're from and how you grew up?
Absolutely. My name's Rob Hughes. Like was mentioned, I played baseball at Clemson. From Rock Hill, South Carolina. I grew up there most of my life. Went to Furman University for a little bit, and then ended up at Clemson. And loved every minute I had there. So,
Cool. So, did you always know that you wanted to go to Clemson, or did that just kind of happen?
so my dad actually went to UNC. So growing up, I was a huge, into UNC and Duke, and never really cared about anything South Carolina and Clemson. And then it wasn't until after I was at Furman University and they actually cut our baseball program that I kind of ended up caring about Clemson and South Carolina because my best friend pitched for South Carolina.
So, does
So
Furman not have a baseball team anymore?
not anymore.
I did
No.
not know that. What year did they cut their team?
So it was 2020.
Okay.
It was wild. I remember we were about to play college at Charleston. They were coming to us, and we got a phone call like, "Hey, they're not coming anymore. There's a pandemic." And then flash forward about a month and a half later, we have a Zoom call with our athletic director, like the whole team and coaches. We get on. Something felt weird about the vibe, and it was, "Hey, we're cutting you guys in men's lacrosse." So it was like, "Hey, you have 3 months to figure out where you're going. Good luck."
God.
Yeah, I figured when she said 2020, I was like, that definitely probably had something to do with budget cuts and,
Yeah.
the effects of COVID, which was very devastating. So that is
Yep.
unfortunate. How did you end up bouncing back from that? Were you like upset at first, I'm sure, because you had to leave your teammates? How was that?
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things in hindsight. You look back and you realize kind of how you reacted to it. You don't really know in the moment because it's just so wild. The first priority is to find somewhere to go. So it's like I have to find somewhere to keep playing baseball. So like in the moment, you're thinking, what am I going to do? I was fortunate enough to where I kind of played some of the all-state games with a bunch of the Clemson guys. So I talked to them, talked to Coach Lee, but it all happened so fast. You really don't even process it emotionally until it's like you get back that fall and you're in a new school. And you're like, dang, I don't remember thinking I was going to lose all my brothers from the other school, but it just feels kind of weird.
How
So
was transition that first season? Like, was it a lot different? Did you feel like everything just kind of went how you thought it would go, or were there any challenges?
it was almost kind of a contrast coming from a small school to a big school. Um, Obviously, I all the things I expected happened regarding like resources, just being able to do things a lot more ease, pretty much.
Hmm.
Um, but the year coming during COVID, it was a little different. So it was almost kind of similar because I saw just as many people. It felt like the COVID restrictions was the normal crowds for Furman. So
Hmm.
it was like, not, it was. I got a nice transition to it. By my second year, it was a lot crazier when things opened up. But
Yeah.
it was definitely, I had a lot more of an appreciation.
Hmm.
Um, there was definitely like a bunch of gear and stuff. I remember getting, even during COVID, our first gear job at Clemson. I was like, damn, this is more stuff than I ever got at Furman in 2 years.
Yeah.
So, when did you start playing baseball?
I started playing when I was 5. Started playing t-ball.
Wow.
Yeah,
T-ball, nice.
And
I have classic t-ball pictures.
was your goal always to play baseball in college?
I actually, growing up, I loved basketball.
Okay.
Really wanted to play basketball. I played a little bit in high school. Um, I think my parents sent me down one day and were just like, "Hey, buddy, this probably isn't going to be the move for you." So I ended up just playing. I mean, my dad played golf at UNC. I didn't mention that, but playing golf a little bit with him, and then I ended up just playing baseball when I got to high school.
Yeah. So you never picked up on the competitive side of golf from your dad?
I did. I played a little bit. I played till I was 13.
Okay.
Um, really weird flex. I finished like third in the state my last tournament and then quit. My dad was super
Oh
pissed.
my gosh.
I was so bad at baseball, and like I loved it though. So I
Hmm.
was like, I love this. I want to keep doing it. My dad's like, "What's wrong with you?" But
That's what it's all about, though, just like the
yeah,
passion for what you want to do. So that's great
Yeah.
that you are ending up where you are now, and that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to back up a little bit. I think there's a couple of things that I want to know. So, when did you enter college and then when did you finish college?
so I entered college I graduated high school in 2018, and I entered college in 2019 at Furman. And I
Mhm.
went 19 and 20 at Furman. COVID year 20, 21 was at Clemson, 22 was Tommy John surgery, and then 3 and 4 were with Backage. Yeah, so dang, you put it out like that, 18 to 24. That sounds pretty bad.
It's okay. No, it's fine. Okay. So now you are kind of did some research. So are you in Idaho now?
Yes, I'm playing in Idaho Falls, and
Awesome.
pretty much it's I think about the way to describe it. During COVID, actually, when they cut a bunch of minor league teams and every major league team's affiliate. So what that did is that took about like 200 jobs away from the bottom of the draft every year. So those guys that would normally get drafted are not anymore. So they created a league from the same stadiums. So instead of just cutting and having to remake stadiums, they just have like a new league, kind of a feeder thing. So
Okay.
that's
Gotcha.
sorry.
No, you're good. That adds more context as well. Was your goal to play for the MLB at some point, or is it still your goal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Um, a lot of guys here, it's kind of the same thing. Uh, gives you a opportunity to be able to play every day in a professional setting. With there's a lot of like ex major league coaches that are coaching in this league, so it's been pretty
That's
cool.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
because you have that actual experienced coach to give you what you need to know to make it to where you want to be. So I think
Absolutely.
that's an amazing experience. Yeah. How was your? I'm sorry. I was gonna
Okay.
ask you what was the adjustment like coming to Idaho all the way from South Carolina?
Yeah.
I'm very glad you asked that. I never crossed the Mississippi until I came out here last year,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was like I had been north, I'd been to the Cape. That was fine, obviously a little faster,
Mhm.
but out here is a different world. It is not even everything at home's foothills. Out here, it's flat or it's the biggest mountain you've ever seen.
In
That's
between.
right.
Yeah, but no, it's been cool. I've gotten to see a lot of things that I would not get to see on the east. The cool part is I'm just like 10% Eastern guys. I swear we're the Idaho Falls Southern Californians. That should be our team name. So everybody here is just like we go on bus rides and they're not even looking out the window. And I was like a 6-year-old like, look at that mountain. What is that one called?
Have you faced any challenges being in Idaho? It's very different from South Carolina, and like, you're still doing baseball on top of like adjusting to a new environment.
Yeah, no, it's anytime you make a jump from college to professional, there's going to be really a big life adjustment
Mhm.
because it goes from in college at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of people that are really your support system that are there making sure you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing, whether it be a Lindsay Ricketts like an academic advisor or a coach or whatever it may be. And here it's like almost an aspect of the game is can you live your life like a quality individual? Can
Yeah.
you get up in the morning, do what you're supposed to do without being told, get ready to play? And it's more of an everyday kind of thing, not like a 3 or 4 day like it would be during college. So there's different obstacles.
Mhm.
Whereas in college, it might be class, it might be getting up to go run 300s with Coach Baggage on a Wednesday. It
Oh,
might be, staying in a bad hotel or having to deal with the weight room for a few days that you're not used to. It's just different kind of obstacles.
yeah.
Well, I'm
Gotcha.
actually glad you touched on that because that kind of opens up for another question I wanted to ask you. I think while we're in college, me and Ashley were talking earlier, it's very much kind of almost like a simulation, like you're in your own little bubble, I like to think of it. And I can only imagine that being a student athlete, that bubble is even smaller. So compared to, you're out of school now, you're in Idaho and you're playing professional baseball. How is that different, even outside of the sports aspect? How is that like? Is there anything that surprised you about being in, I guess, the quote unquote real world
Real,
that
yeah.
maybe college did not prepare you for?
Yeah. I mean, can really anything lay you, or can anything prepare you for laying there at night, staring at the walls, and be like, "What am I doing with my life?"
That's a good point.
It's really more of a focus on your day, and I'll use a baseball example, and it applies to life.
Mhm.
It's when I got to pro ball, it was in college, you start your warm up. They tell you exactly what to do.
Mhm.
You warm up, you go. My first day of pro ball, I remember getting here and being like, "What do I do? How do I
Mhm.
warm up? More
Yeah.
importantly, why?
Yeah.
What am I doing for the time I wake up, for the time I go to sleep, and more importantly, why? Is it like, am I wasting half my day and not even realizing it, and then getting away with it just because I did good on a test and didn't realize it?"
Mhm.
That's like the kind of example I would give. Where like in college, I feel like you could have, maybe you're not your best day, but still have a good outcome.
Mhm.
Whereas it's more about stacking the good days, and the outcomes come less often.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. Because I don't know, I'm close to getting out of school as well. I just graduated in May and then I'm getting my graduate degree right now. So, well, my master's degree. So I'll be
Mhm.
finished next August with that. It's just kind of interesting for us to kind of think about, like, I'm sure life is a whole lot different.
It's a big fat question mark. That's all I'll
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, that question mark, it's more of a self thing than it is anything. It makes you question yourself. What am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? And most
Yeah.
99% of the time, at the end of the day, it's going to be something where you're already doing the right thing. Your parents have already told you exactly. They've raised you the right way. It's just go
Mhm.
do it and don't question what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I think for the longest time I think I just sat too much on instead of taking action towards something and just it being a guessing game in a sense, like me just trying out different things. I was sitting there stressing out about what step to take, but it's like you won't necessarily know what step to take. You just have to take a step, no matter
Exactly.
what like direction that is. So that's now me being a rising senior, I'm just now realizing that. So now I'm taking steps, even though I don't know where they will lead me, but at least I finally realized that.
Yeah. All you can do is put yourself in the best position. And from there, I mean, let everything take its course.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can imagine
exactly.
that's exactly what you did too, right? To get you to Idaho. Like, you probably, growing up didn't think, oh, when I grow up and graduate, I'm going to
I'm gonna go
Idaho.
to
I'm going to go be the king of the potatoes.
Like it's all about putting one step forward and
Mhm.
continuing to walk your path. I want to ask too, did networking play a big factor? How important do you think that is?
I think that's huge, especially with, hate to go back to baseball examples, something like summer baseball, where you meet everyone. That was kind of the first situation in which I was like, I probably need in a business life setting to do the same thing, was you play summer ball and you meet people from everywhere, and somehow just with the transferring and an eye on everything, you always end up seeing these people, and you're like, oh, I know him from California, him from New York. So it's like that kind of opened my eyes to, oh, wait a minute. Now he's opening a pitching place. He's opening pitching place. Oh, he's an accountant now. So it's like knowing knowing people, not necessarily in the same facet of life, but doing similar things is
Mhm.
always really, really cool, because when you can, build that bond off of the one thing, you can learn all the other things from them. When you have that bond over, whether it be baseball, it's like, hey, I can learn things from him and another facets of life as well. So I
Mhm.
mean that applies to not just baseball, but obviously.
Yeah. So you're a pitcher. Did you dabble around with a bunch of other positions, or did you that was that kind of the position for you all along?
So I hit until I got to Furman,
Okay.
and I was actually going to hit at Furman, and I was always a lot better at pitching. And
Mhm.
even in a small school like Furman, I remember seeing our first pitcher throw in an inter squad and being like, "I'll pitch. That's fine. I don't
Mhm.
want to hit. I don't want to try and hit that. I'll just pitch." So yeah, after college, I stopped hitting and just pitching.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Where would you like to see your life in the next like 10 years?
I mean, ideally, it'd be nice to be playing in the major leagues.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Um, 10 years from now, I guess the only thing I could ask was that in some one capacity or another, whether it be work or baseball, I'm just on a path to reaching the full potential of whatever I can do in one of those two. As long
Yeah.
as I'm always making the step towards that, I
Mhm.
consider that good.
Yeah.
With that mindset, what do you think you would tell your younger self now?
Um, I would trust yourself. It's that good days.
Yeah.
For like a lot of our lives, especially at this point when things are changing, you, like I said, begin to question yourself. And it's like if I could go back and be like, hey man, just keep doing what you're doing, get 1% better every day. Don't search and try and change things about your life. Just keep doing it the way you're doing, and you'll learn how to get better every day. That's probably the one thing I would say. There's no easy fix, nothing like it's going to make your life better magically. Just do what you're supposed to do each day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good advice for
Hmm.
sure. Yeah.
Have you had any unforgettable moments, baseball, not baseball, just anything that like really sticks out to you that makes you think this is all worth it?
Yeah. Ironically, surgery. When I got surgery my senior year, that was huge because it was the most it had done for me as a baseball player and a person, but I
Hmm.
wasn't even on the field.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where like it made me realize that Rob Hughes, the baseball player, isn't the only
Hmm.
Rob Hughes. There needs to be a Rob in there somewhere, not just a baseball player.
Hmm.
Um, and in doing that, it really meant like surgery can mess a lot of guys up to where
Yeah.
it makes them think for a while, kind of lose sight of the priorities. And the outcome of that is you end up getting to a place where it's like you're just appreciative. You understand that baseball is a gift. Every day is a gift from God, and all. I mean, every time you get a chance to spend with all your friends and such, it's you should take the most advantage of it. So I
Yeah.
think that would be the biggest memory in regards to something that I probably think about every day just to keep me appreciative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. I always like to kind of think to myself too, every experience that you have gets you to where you are now
Hmm.
or where you're going to, whether those be good or bad experiences. And it's always good to look back on those moments where you kind of questioned, how am I supposed to make it out of this? Or what is life supposed to look like now? And then you're like, oh, well, I'm here today now. And maybe if that weren't to happen, maybe I would have been a completely different person or I would have been somewhere else. I think those, like something like surgery or other things that people may go through, those are the things that make you stronger and they build
Hmm.
you up as a person and they give you, some more substance and more, I guess, more guidance of how to get through certain things.
Hmm.
Yes, absolutely. I think when you're in school, a lot of, like I said, a lot of things are more outcome based. It's
Hmm.
a lot more frequency, whether it be a test, a class change, whatever it may be. And then when you're out, it's kind of like it's slower.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You gotta keep building the good days.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, it's definitely hard to see the positive sometimes, especially, on certain days, but that's all you can really do. That's the whole point of life. There's not going to be a good day every single day.
Yeah.
So I wish, but that's just unfortunately not the case.
Yeah.
So,
And you can use your stories to like help other people, like
yeah.
one day you might meet someone who's going through that process of being an injured player and
Hmm.
they just kind of feel like they've lost hope and you have an experience now that you can tell them and keep them motivated to know that it's not over yet.
yeah, I'd actually say that's something bigger in professional baseball than it would be in college
Hmm.
because college is a lot more to the coach. Everybody's listening to the coach, and I've actually noticed in professional there's a lot more interpersonal talks. You can get a lot more specific, like
Yeah.
you just said. Really talking to someone about maybe going through the same thing, same injury, working on the same pitches. Um, you're with them every day, playing every single day. It's like you really get to know one another and help one another,
Hmm.
and you can draw confidence from the fact that not just your preparation, but in knowing that someone else is doing the same thing as you.
Hmm. Yeah.
Where does your passion live?
I'm a nerd. I'm not gonna lie. So I do a part-time development job, and I love computers. I love coding.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, I hate to sound like a nerd saying that, but along with baseball, that'd probably be my.
Well, it's interesting because so my master's degree is in sports business data analytics. So
Nice.
I've kind of getting
Nice.
into coding and I'm like, this is kind of cool. Been using
Mhm.
Python and R,
Hey, there you go.
SQL.
Oh gosh.
Ashley's like, what does this mean?
Like I could never code in my life.
How many times have you typed in import pandas?
So many times, so many
Yeah, I bet.
times.
I bet.
For sure.
Oh,
But
gosh.
yeah, well, what is something that you want to leave with our viewers about
Yes.
yourself?
Anything you would
About
like the audience to know?
absolutely.
Baseball, not baseball.
I like that y'all brought up kind of being at the end of y'all's college careers and moving forward. And I know I've said it a bunch, but I guess if there's only one thing I would leave, it would almost be that advice back to myself, but to everybody, would just be the one day at a time. Trust yourself, trust the person you've become, especially in college. There's so many memories you can draw from, good, bad, whoever, to shape the person you are. Don't let the days before get wasted by not being the person you are today.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
thank
really
you so
appreciate
much
your
for joining
time.
us.
Thank y'all. No, I appreciate it. It was fun.
Of course, we wish you all the best. Of course, going after your dreams, you can still do it. So,
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
of course, have a good one. Bye.
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 Hey everyone, if you just enjoyed watching that episode with Rob Hughes, go ahead and check out our other episodes that are posted on our YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe, and
We can't wait to see you for another episode next week.
yep.
All right,
See you guys
bye.
soon. Bye.